There we go. Let's try that. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, I'm the Basement Reviewer, and welcome back to another one of my vlogs, where I'm going to be consistently uploading every day that I can. So, you're probably looking at the title, and maybe probably the thumbnail, and already know what the topic of this video is going to be. If you don't, let me just state it. Unikitty. It's a new show on Cartoon Network, and according to my brother, it was made by the guys who did Teen Titans Go. So there's one thing that's already not going its way. What do I think of it? It was fine. Nothing wrong with it, like nothing major wrong with it. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's also got a lot of potential. There's a lot of good in this show and a lot of bad. It's a very mixed bag. What do I mean by that? Okay, well let's start with the good stuff because it's quite simple. There are quite a few funny moments, and it doesn't follow a lot of what you might expect, at least in the episode I watched. For example, there was the episode follows the main villain getting trapped in a snowman where he can't get out, and you throughout the entire episode, I was expecting them to have the part where the villain gets revealed while he's having fun. But that's not what happens. Instead, he starts having fun, and they send him to the North Pole so that he doesn't melt, because they think he's a snowman. Which kind of works. I mean, because they don't know it's the villain in there. So, well, the reason I say they don't know it's the villain, and that is a good thing for them sending him to the North Pole, is because, well, like, this seems like a kind of show where they don't try to actively necessarily harm the villain. I don't know, that's just me. It seems like that's the kind of show they're going for. But, another thing good is, overall, the pieces are there. The story had very little filler, and it had enough plot to get what it needed to get done. In fact, actually, it was very quick about everything. Everything it got done in the time needed. Granted, some parts were a little rushed. But, overall, what's good about it is it's got good characters for the most part. It's got decent ideas, and it had several good jokes. So where are the flaws? I personally don't know if I'm really a fan of the animation. Don't get me wrong, the animation itself is fine. But I personally feel it should have been made to look more like everything's Legos. Like everything was made out of Legos, like the other Lego products recently. The reason I say this is because the characters, for the most part, look like they're made out of Legos. And it's just a little strange to me to see non-Lego backgrounds with Lego in them. I mean, it's not too distracting. Honestly, it's kind of a nitpick. But it's just my opinion on that one. The other thing that's kind of a small issue is the villain, at least in this episode, was kind of bland. He just came off as like a slightly evil Squidward. And it's just really forgettable. The other thing that I didn't really like was the pacing was a little fast, and it never really gave you a chance to take a break. I mean, I prefer this to having a ton of filler. But there is all the jokes in it were pretty much really quick and never giving you a chance to really think about what they had just said. But let me put it this way: the other thing that I've complained about, really, outside of one other thing that I'll get to at the end, is the characters' designs on some of them. Particularly the main villain, and I believe his name is Richard. We'll start with Richard because he's the easiest to complain about. He is literally a Lego block with a face. That's all he is. And I'm sure that's some kind of joke. And I mean, I guess it kind of fits his personality since he's like always like plain and boring. Like, he always talks in a monotone voice like this. But at the same time, they could have maybe created more creatively. Again, it's a nitpick. It really is. But it just, it And he's not on screen for very long, so I guess it's fine. But the other character that I kind of have a bit of an issue with is the main villain himself. In the sense that he's just a yellow face on a couple of black bricks with arms. And it's just like, I feel they could have gone a little bit more into their supposed main villain of the show. But that's just me. The other issue I had is, it has songs in it, like 2 songs, and they're not the worst things ever, but there's very little transition into them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not the worst thing ever, but I would never listen to them on their own. They're not very great songs. But other than that, it's a decent show. And it's got a lot of potential. And that's the big thing with this one, is I can't judge it, and I'm not planning a actual review on it, which is why I'm doing it in a vlog, is the sense that it's got a lot of potential, but it hasn't proven to be good enough or bad enough for me to review it. So, either way, it's a decent show with a lot of potential, and leagues above Teen Titans Go, if that's really the same workers. So, I will look into it more, probably, see what it can do. But until then, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video, or comment that you didn't like this video. And be sure to let me know why. Because I always like to have constructive criticism. Do know, though, that if you say something like, you suck, there is absolutely nothing I can take away from that. That does not help me get better at all. But, either way, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, though, have a nice day.